We are threatened by an excess of democracy, the tyranny of the mob. Our current system of government has turned this country into the disunited states. I look forward to our convention in Philadelphia. There we will probe our defects to their bottom and provide a radical cure.
In May of 1787, the United States was on the verge of crisis. The central government was weak under the Articles of Confederation and proved to have social, diplomatic, and economic problems. Elected delegates from 12 of the 13 states gathered at the Constitution Convention on May 25th in Philadelphia to revise the Articles of Confederation.
Edmund Randolph of Virginia introduced a plan to scrap the Articles of Confederation and create a whole new form of government. Madison and Washington are the ones behind it. They want to create a government made up of 3 branches. First and foremost, the new Congress would be made of 2 houses, which Madison calls an upper and a lower one. There will be an executive branch headed by some sort of president, and a judicial branch, a kind of Supreme Court made up of judges who can overrule state courts. It's a system of checks and balances to make sure no branch can dominate any other. That way we'll be protected from a tyranny of the monarchy and of the mob.
Hold on. I understand about the President and Supreme Court, but how many representatives will each state send to this new Congress?
That's the catch, Sarah. Madison wants to throw out the principle of one state, one vote, and base representation on the size of a state's population.
Won't that give all the power to the biggest states like Massachusetts and Pennsylvania?
The small states will never agree to it.
Which will tear the country apart.
I only hope the delegates have as much sense as you do, because if they don't, it's going to be a long, hot summer in Philadelphia.
The debate over a constitution created 2 main alliances. On one side you had the Federalists. The Federalists were enthusiastic supporters of a powerful national government. Although they feared a central government would be too strong, they also feared a weak government. They wanted government to have the strength to promote public good, defend against foreign enemies, regulate trade, and put internal disturbances to rest, such as the mob violence.
Pennsylvania demands proportional representation.
No! Connecticut demands 1 vote per state.
Proportional representation!
If you think I'll sign a constitution that takes away my state's rights, you're plumb crazy. So you Virginians can put that in your pipes and smoke it.
The other side was the anti-federalist. They were recognized for their need for a stronger national government, but thought the Constitution betrayed democratic ideals of the American Revolution. They believed that a representative government could only work with a small territory and would be too similar to a king, and central government would be too distant from the states. In their opinion, the Constitution was an assault on state sovereignty, republicanism, and the liberty of the people. Their biggest criticism was the Constitution lacked a Bill of Rights guaranteeing the people's civil liberties. Without these explicit protections, they believed government could easily violate those rights.
The large states are quite different from each other. They will act on their own interests, not their size. To claim that the large states will dominate the small is a false objective.
Gentlemen, I have the solution. Gently. Just as I wear bifocals with 2 kinds of lenses, we have 2 houses in our Congress. Let the upper house abide by the principle of 1 state, 1 vote. But let the members of the lower house be elected by proportional vote. It would be a House of Representatives.
That sounds reasonable.
I can live with that.
Good idea.
Dr. Franklin, you are a genius.
The Federalist Plan for Government was anonymously circulated through the states under the pen name Publius. The 85 Federalist Papers were written by Alexander Hamilton, James Madison, and John Jay defending the Constitution. They included principles of government such as checks and balances and separation of power to limit national authority and preserve liberty.
Because they did not trust government, the Anti-Federalists wanted the basic rights of the people spelled out in the Constitution. This struggle over the Bill of Rights became the key focus in the fight over ratification. In the end, all 13 states ratified, and in September of 1789, Congress proposed 12 amendments to the states for ratification. By December of 1791, the states ratified 10 of the amendments known as the Bill of Rights. These amendments promised rights such as freedom of speech, press, and religion.
See that sun on General Washington's chair? I've sat here since May asking myself if that sun is setting or if it is rising. Today I have the happiness of knowing that it is indeed a rising sun. We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, to establish justice, promote the general welfare, and to secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America.